Welcome to Election Night in America 2024. Tonight, Joe Biden, the incumbent president from the Democratic Party, will be facing off against Ron Desantis, the Florida governor, in a heated presidential election as of right now. In the November 5th final polling for the choice of president, Joe Biden leads at 49.7% against Ron DeSantis at 45.5%, though it's important to remember that neither of these candidates are at 50%, and the Electoral College is ultimately what determines who wins the presidency. If you look at the approval rating for the Biden-Harris administration, you will see a 54% disapproval rating for Joe Biden compared to a 42% approval rating. It's interesting that he is only the second ever president to have a disapproval rating on the night of election night, the first being Donald Trump. Will he be able to pull it off tonight? We'll have to wait and see. Well, for the 2024 congressional generic vote, Democrats hold 47.3% of all polling results, and Republicans at 46.9 percentage points. Though it's important to note here that this is a very close race, neck and neck between the two parties. The first polls are now closing at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Here we are to report the results. Ron DeSantis and Joe Biden both sit at 0 electoral votes, though we can make our first projection right now. In the state of Indiana here, Ron DeSantis, the Florida governor, is the projected winner, his first win of the night. The next state to be called here is the state of Kentucky. 8 electoral votes will go to Ron DeSantis. The final call here for Ron DeSantis, the state of South Carolina, 9 electoral votes goes to Ron DeSantis. Well, for the first and only projection right now at this hour for Joe Biden, he is the projected winner in the state of Vermont. The state of Georgia here, the first key race alert. Ron DeSantis currently leads Joe Biden here by more than a 2-1 margin. The state of Virginia here, we do not expect this to hold, but Ron DeSantis holds a 13% lead over Joe Biden. If you look at the electoral count right now, Joe Biden sits at just 3 electoral votes to Ron DeSantis, who is sitting at 28 electoral votes. For the poll closings at 7:30 right now, Ron DeSantis and Joe Biden both very far away from the presidential election. Going to the state of West Virginia, the first and only projection of the hour, Ron DeSantis is the projected winner in the state of West Virginia. The state of North Carolina here, too close to call. Joe Biden leads over Ron DeSantis by about 10 percentage points, though this race is still very close and contentious and could definitely go either way. Ron DeSantis has to win the state of North Carolina for any chances at the presidency. Going to the state of Ohio here, this is a must-win state for Ron DeSantis, and here, currently speaking, he's trailing by more than 125,000 votes. Though it's important to remember here, only the Columbus County region has so far been able to report any results. Going to the electoral map right now, 3 for Joe Biden, 32 for Ron DeSantis, very early on in the night. And right now the poll closes at 8 p.m. Let's go. For the state of Alabama here, 9 electoral votes. Ron DeSantis is the projected winner. If we go to the state of Mississippi, 6 electoral votes also goes to Ron DeSantis. Going to the state of Missouri here, 10 electoral votes. Ron DeSantis is the projected winner. Going to the state of Oklahoma, 7 electoral votes. Ron DeSantis wins the state of Oklahoma. The Florida governor will also carry Tennessee along with its 11 electoral votes. Going to the state of Connecticut, the first projection of the hour for Joe Biden, 7 electoral votes goes to Joe Biden. The District of Columbia here right now, more than 90% of the votes are going to Joe Biden. He is the projected winner. The state of Delaware here, 3 electoral votes. The state that he served as a senator from, he wins the state of Delaware. Going to the state of Illinois, 19 electoral votes goes to Joe Biden. Now going to the state of Maine with its first congressional district. With its 1 electoral vote, Joe Biden is the projected winner. Going to Maryland with its 10 electoral votes, arguably the most Democratic state in the Union, goes to Joe Biden. Going to the state of Massachusetts here, 11 electoral votes, Joe Biden is the projected winner. New Jersey with its 14 electoral votes will also go to Joe Biden. Rhode Island with its 4 electoral votes, Joe Biden is projected winner. As long as that, the president will also carry the first key race projection, the state of Virginia with its 13 electoral votes. It is no surprise here that with almost 2/3 of the entirety of the vote being counted, Joe Biden does end up defeating Ron DeSantis in the state of Virginia. The state of Florida, the state that Ron DeSantis serves as governor right now, with 69% of the total vote in, Ron DeSantis does lead Joe Biden by 300,000 votes. We expect a projection soon enough, as we do believe that Ron DeSantis will most certainly win the state of Florida. Going to the state of Maine here, 2 electoral votes, and it's unexpected how Ron DeSantis is currently leading. We'll see if that holds up. Maine 2nd Congressional District right now going to Ron DeSantis over Joe Biden as of right now. The state of New Hampshire, 4 electoral votes, Ron DeSantis up in an early lead, though this lead could end up going in favor of Joe Biden. Now the next state, the state of Pennsylvania, the state that Joe Biden was born in, 19 electoral votes, a must-win state for both sides. Whoever wins the state will most likely win the presidency, as I explained in another video which is in the cards linked right now. Going to the electoral map here, 88 electoral votes for Joe Biden and 75 electoral votes for Ron DeSantis. Right now at the 8:30 p.m. poll closing mark, Joe Biden and Ron DeSantis both at about a third of the way to the presidency, though only one state is closing its polls. The state of Arkansas, no surprise here, Ron DeSantis is the projected winner. Florida, with its 30 electoral votes, we did say that the projection is coming soon, and it has. Ron DeSantis is the projected winner, right now leading by 7 percentage points over Joe Biden. A Maine 2nd Congressional District here, no surprise here whatsoever, Ron DeSantis is the projected winner, right now by about 16 percentage points, though the lead will most certainly shrink. Right now here, the chance of victory has now swung back to Ron DeSantis' favor, with Joe Biden here trailing in the electoral vote count by a vote of 112 to 88. Ron DeSantis currently leads in the electoral vote count by 24 electoral votes, though we have some curious alerts coming in right now. First off, in the state of Georgia here, with more votes coming in, Ron DeSantis holds a steady 20% lead over Joe Biden, though this lead is most certainly to shrink in the next couple of hours. In the state of North Carolina here, Joe Biden's lead has shrunk a little bit over Ron DeSantis, but he persists to hold about his 8% lead over Ron DeSantis. Now going to the state of Ohio here, Joe Biden persists a lead here with about just over a quarter of the vote in. Joe Biden leads over Ron DeSantis. The state of Maine here, with its 2 electoral votes, Ron DeSantis leads over Joe Biden in the state with its at-large vote. The state of New Hampshire here, the vote has slightly tightened. Ron DeSantis here leading Joe Biden by less than 4,000 votes, with just around a quarter of the estimated vote in. With 19% of the vote in the state of Pennsylvania, Joe Biden's home state, a must-win again for both sides. Joe Biden currently trailing Ron DeSantis by about 100,000 votes. Right now, with the polls about to close at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we do expect the second largest batch of actual results and a lot of projections at this hour. We can project that the state of Kansas, with its 6 electoral votes, the first call of this hour goes to Ron DeSantis. 4 electoral votes in the state of Nebraska also goes to Ron DeSantis, with its 2nd Congressional District remaining uncalled. The state of North Dakota here, 3 electoral votes, goes to Ron DeSantis. Louisiana, with its 8 electoral votes here, Ron DeSantis, no surprise, is the projected winner. The state used to have a Democratic governor. Now all the chambers are also leaning Republican. With North Dakota going to Ron DeSantis, so does the state of South Dakota. 3 electoral votes goes to the Florida governor. Now going to the state of Wyoming, the most conservative state in the United States, 3 electoral votes goes to Ron DeSantis. Going to Maine's at-large vote here, 2 electoral votes goes to Joe Biden, the incumbent president. Now going to the main results here, 17,000 votes is what separates Joe Biden from Ron DeSantis, and nonetheless, we do project right now Joe Biden is the projected winner. Now going to the state of New York here, 28 electoral votes, Joe Biden currently leads over Donald Trump. There are no surprises right now in the Empire State. Now going to our first key race alert here, Joe Biden does lead over Ron DeSantis in the state of Arizona by nearly 10 percentage points, though it's really unsurprising because in 2020 a similar fiasco occurred and Joe Biden nearly ended up losing the state. The state of Colorado here is currently too early a call between Joe Biden and Ron DeSantis. Going to the state of New Mexico here, 5 electoral votes, also too early a call between the two men. Now going to the state of Texas here, this is a very close race, but Joe Biden's lead over Ron DeSantis just 0.02% or less than 2,000 votes. Going to the state of Wisconsin here, it's looking pretty good for Ron DeSantis. 61% of the estimated vote is in, and Ron DeSantis holds a 58,000 vote lead over Joe Biden. In the state of Michigan here, this result looks pretty decent as well for Ron DeSantis. He has a 6% lead over Joe Biden in the state that Joe Biden must win tonight. Going to the state of Minnesota here, this is a state again where Democrats must win and should probably win. Ron DeSantis leads over Joe Biden in the state by just 1 vote. If we look at here now, in the chance of victory, 64% chance for Ron DeSantis. He's the current favorite for the presidential election. Now here we have the poll closings at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. 4 states will close its polls. Going to the state of Ohio here, another key race projection. Ron DeSantis, we saw this coming. Ron DeSantis is the projected winner of the state of Ohio. Now going to the state of Ohio here with the key race alert results, we see that Ron DeSantis up about 290,000 votes over Joe Biden. You see in the state of Utah here, 6 electoral votes, Ron DeSantis currently leads over Joe Biden. Going to the state of Montana here, 4 electoral votes, Ron DeSantis is the projected winner. Going to the state of Iowa here with its 6 electoral votes, Ron DeSantis leads over Joe Biden in the state right now by 34,000 votes or about 8 percentage points. Going to the state of Nevada here with 14% of the estimated vote in, Ron DeSantis leads by almost 20 points over Joe Biden or 33,000 votes. Here we have it, the chance of victory has remained relatively stable here, has not fluctuated a lot, 62% for Ron DeSantis. Now we have the 11 p.m. poll closings here Eastern Time. You can see that the state of California, the largest state in the United States, now going to close its polls. First off, in the state of Idaho here, Ron DeSantis is the projected winner. And going to the state of Iowa, 6 electoral votes. We did more or less see this coming. Ron DeSantis is the projected winner over Joe Biden. You see it in the state of Iowa here, Ron DeSantis is probably going to win by just over 5 percentage points when all is said and done. Going to the state of Texas here, the second largest state in the United States, both in terms of land side and in terms of population, Ron DeSantis is the projected winner over Joe Biden. This was a must-win state for him, and he has done just that, winning the state of Texas. Here we have California, the largest state by population in the United States. 54 electoral votes goes to Joe Biden. The state of Colorado here, previously uncalled, 10 electoral votes goes to Joe Biden. And with the state of Colorado called, so is the state of New Mexico, also previously too early a call, now called for Joe Biden. Going to the state of Hawaii here, 4 electoral votes, Joe Biden is also the projected winner. Going to the state of Oregon here, 8 electoral votes, Joe Biden is also the projected winner. While if you look at the state of Washington here, also another progressive state, 12 electoral votes, Joe Biden is the winner. With that in mind here, we see the electoral vote count. Both men are now surpassing 200 electoral votes and inching closer and closer to the presidency, though only one man will end up actually winning that White House for the next 4 years. Now for a chance of victory here, Joe Biden's chances have skyrocketed with some better returns for him at this hour, though it's still pretty much a coin flip. Now we have some key race alerts coming in right now. This could determine who ends up winning the presidential election. Going to the state of Arizona here, the gap expectedly has shrunk between Joe Biden and Ron DeSantis, though Biden still holds a 109,000 vote lead over Ron DeSantis. The state of Minnesota here, we do expect a call soon for Joe Biden. He is leading by 5 points in the state of Minnesota. It is very likely that he will end up winning this race. Going to the state of Michigan here with a 90,000 vote difference is what separates Ron DeSantis and Joe Biden. However, nonetheless, with 80% of the estimated vote in, the results currently look pretty damn good for Ron DeSantis. Joe Biden must win the state to have any chances at the presidential election. Going to the state of North Carolina here, this is the first time tonight that Ron DeSantis has overtaken Joe Biden in the vote count, though this is still a very close race on both sides. Now going to the state of Pennsylvania here, this is a must-win state with 69% of the vote in. This is a must-win state again for both sides, the most crucial race truly in this election. Now if we look at the state of Wisconsin here, 10 electoral votes, Joe Biden and Ron DeSantis still neck and neck in the state of Wisconsin. 10,000 votes is all that separates Joe Biden and Ron DeSantis. Now here we see the poll closing at 1 p.m. We could soon see many more projections. Ron DeSantis just 5 electoral votes ahead of Joe Biden. Now here the first key race projection here, but probably not the last here. The state of New Hampshire here, 4 electoral votes. Joe Biden is the projected winner. Right now speaking, he does defeat Ron DeSantis by what looks to be just over 3 percentage points, though we expect this lead to end up growing. Going to the state of Alaska here, 3 electoral votes, Ron DeSantis is the projected winner, while going to the state of North Carolina here, a huge win for Ron DeSantis. He needed this win, 16 electoral votes, Ron DeSantis is the projected winner. Now going to the state of North Carolina here, 16 electoral votes, Ron DeSantis wins over Joe Biden here by just over 2 percentage points. Now the chance of victory here, Biden is surging here at 75%, while the chances for Ron DeSantis, despite being leading in the electoral vote count, he is plummeting in his chances of victory. Though he has already surpassed what Trump got in 2020, which means he essentially did better than Trump, as he has won all the states that Trump won and all the districts Trump won in 2020. Now here we have the key race alert coming in right now. Going to the state of Michigan here, 15 electoral votes. Joe Biden is the projected winner. He needed the state. It was not looking super good for him, but he has came back and ended up winning the state of Michigan right now by just over 2 percentage points, though we expect some of the final vote to end up favoring him. Going to the state of Minnesota here, this state could have been called a long time ago, but now we can officially project that Joe Biden seems to hold a 5% lead over Ron DeSantis. He is the projected winner in the state of Minnesota. Going to Nebraska's 2nd Congressional District here, Joe Biden is again the projected winner. He wins the 1 electoral vote in this congressional district over Ron DeSantis by around 5 points. Now the electoral map update here, Joe Biden now surpassing Ron DeSantis after 3 projections, the most crucial one being the state of Michigan. Right now, he does have a very good chance at the presidency, and in fact, we can now project that Joe Biden will be re-elected president, the 46th president of the United States. Nevada here for Ron DeSantis, this is a silver lining for him. He wins 1 more state than Donald Trump did in the 2020 election. The state of Nevada projected for Ron DeSantis by just under 1 percentage point. The state of Arizona here, 11 electoral votes. Joe Biden is the projected winner. Here, Ron DeSantis' chances here were not looking good from the start of the night, and now we can finally project that Joe Biden will defeat Ron DeSantis in the state of Arizona. Going to the state of Georgia here, 16 electoral votes. Joe Biden is able to win the state again for a 2nd consecutive term after pulling out an upset in the state back in 2020. We see a pretty narrow race here, 0.4% is all that separates Joe Biden and Ron DeSantis. Finally, the state of Pennsylvania here, the bellwether state, the state that Joe Biden was born in with its 19 electoral votes, a crucial state, and in fact, a crucial win for Joe Biden with a 50,000 vote lead over Ron DeSantis. Finally, the state of Wisconsin here, 10 electoral votes. Joe Biden is the projected winner. He was not really expected based on the results and some of the earlier returns to end up winning the race, but nonetheless he has, and he has won the 10 electoral votes, 10 crucial electoral votes provided in the state. And with that, the United States popular vote as well goes to Joe Biden. We see that over 99% of the estimated vote is currently in, and Joe Biden right now on track for a similar performance as he did in 2020. The vote totals are pretty much identical to the 2020 general election, though turnout is slightly lower from last year. It is really unsurprising as Ron DeSantis is a less polarizing candidate compared to Donald Trump, but also one that could energize the Republican base slightly less, and with that, the popular vote is shown. Right now, with the 270 electoral votes needed to win, Joe Biden sits at 297 electoral votes, to Ron DeSantis at 241, And with that, thank you for watching today's video. Hopefully you watched the entire video, and if you did, please consider subscribing for future content. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.